Wagwan Internet, it is Spirit of Paradox here and welcome back to another video. So, if you guys have not heard the news, DC have confirmed the first part of their first chapter of the DCU slate, and we are going to go through them, we are going to talk about them and give our thoughts. So first we're going to talk about the movies before it leads up to DCU, so we're going to have Aquaman 2 and The Flash. Aquaman 2 and The Flash, I believe, are still going to be part of the DCEU, but The Flash will restart everything and give us the DCU. So past then, we will have Blue Beetle, which I'm not sure is going to be, I believe it's going to be a part of the new DCU. And then we will have Superman Legacy, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Themyscira Paradise Lost, The Authority, an Amanda Waller show, The Lanterns, and a Swamp Thing show. And I believe he spoke about gaming, but unfortunately we didn't get anything gaming related to that video. But I am going to be 100% with you guys. There is nothing in this reveal that I'm excited for, and I'm actually a bit worried about a lot of the stuff that he's confirmed. So first let's talk about Superman. Superman Legacy will be releasing in July of 2025. This was a lot quicker than I was anticipating this film to be released, and obviously we know we are going to talk about the Henry Cavill situation briefly, but to get this release date for a Superman movie, I'm like, okay, like, you must be really gotten who you want to be as Superman sorted out by now if you want the film to be ready and out by then. And especially with how expensive movie development is, like, I'm very surprised. But I think that was because David Zaslav was like, yo, we bought Warner Brothers and it came with DC. Warner Brothers is in $50 billion worth of debt. We need to make our money back ASAP. And I think that's why Superman got rushed. Or more like being pushed forward into development because they really want Superman to be the face of DC. And obviously he's always been the face of DC, but people would say that would be more like Batman. But nah, I think iconic wise, Superman's just, I don't know. When I think of Superman, like, I see him as more iconic than Batman. But at the same time, Batman is way more popular than Superman. You know? But I think it's because of the history with Supes. I think it just edges Batman when it comes to who's more iconic. Don't get it twisted, they're both very iconic characters in comic books, media, any sorts. Everyone knows who they are. But I would say, like, I would have to give it to Supes, but just slightly. And I understand they really want to do that. But when you add the word legacy, I'm thinking like you're thinking about what he wants to leave behind for when he's gone. When I think of the word legacy, like, I would think the Superman movie would be called Superman Legacy on the last Superman movie. Like, that's in my opinion, that's what I would have done. I would have called that Superman Legacy when Doomsday, the proper Doomsday, not what we got in Batman v Superman. Like, I want traditional Doomsday or New 52 Doomsday. Hold up. I know some people are going to get mad at me saying that. Hold up. I mean the New 52 design. I've got to be real. My favorite Doomsday design is from the New 52. I've actually got the builder figure of that Doomsday, but I love that design. Like, he looks like the devil. Like I'm getting off track, but you get the point. That's what I would use the Superman Legacy or Man of Tomorrow. But let's go into Supergirl. So let's talk about that. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. James Gunn, if you make this woman an unlikable feminazi who just beats up all the guys, who makes all the men in the film just unlikable sexist pricks, I'm not going to watch this. Because, like, when you said she was going to be jaded on a chunk of Krypton where like there's going to be few survivors and they're slowly dying off. I'm just like, oh my days, you've just written a reason for this woman, or for this character I should say, because you know you're not allowed to say that. You're basically finding a reason to make her a dick. And the reason I say that is because every superhero film or show with a female nowadays seems to be a dickhead. I don't know why. Like Captain Marvel, Wanda, Kate Bishop, so many other superhero females nowadays are just so unlikable because they're written to be the same. And if you're going to do that, James Gunn, I am going to roast that film. Because you know, fans, actual fans, not feminism, not the woke crowd, not all of these other minorities, the majority of your fan base, the actual fans of DC, you should be catering to them when we already know you haven't been doing that when you fired Henry Cavill. If you are going to make this a feminist, like basically a backwards sexist film, where it's okay for the woman to be a misandrist, but it's not okay for the men to be misogynist in that film, I am going to basically take the piss out of your film. I am going to do it. I hate it when they basically ruin female superhero characters to fit an agenda, and you basically make everyone hate the character. I love female superheroes. In fact, I have stated my favorite superhero of all time is the Hulk, and many Hulks alike. She-Hulk is was one of my favorite superheroes, specifically in the female crowd as well. And they've basically made her an unlikable character. And now, every time I think of She-Hulk, I think of the Tatiana Maslany version, and it makes me very upset. So now, I don't want people to do that with the female characters of DC, because Marvel seems to are destroying, like literally making them unlikable. And when the fan base state why they don't like them, they just call them ists and phobes, and basically try to run away from any criticism. James Gunn, please don't do that. There will be valid criticism, and I will talk about that point if you decide to insert that into Supergirl. I don't want that. Feminists are not fans of DC. Why do we keep catering feminists to female characters when it comes down to superhero films? They don't respect like people who read comic books. They don't like them. They don't like nerds. So like why are you like catering to these groups? I'm not saying James Gunn is going to do that, but knowing his track record and how he's treated DC, I know exactly how that's going to turn out. And same with the Paradise Lost with Themyscira. It's basically going to be a show that's going to have men who are just sexist assholes, and they're basically giving the women a reason to kill them off. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch Wonder Woman. Why are you giving me a show that's not about Wonder Woman? Like, give me a film about Wonder Woman or a show about Wonder Woman. I don't want to know about the people who live on Themyscira because they're all women. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I am not a woman. I am a man. You know, like, why would you want this? Like, who is asking for this? Like, seriously, why do people want that? Who's more important on Themyscira than Wonder Woman? Who in Themyscira deserves their own show? Who? Like, I don't know anyone. Like James, the characters you're supposed to be making films and shows about are the basics. You start off basic. Why are you giving us characters like the Authority? No one knows or cares for them. You're trying to relaunch DC. You want people to care. Why are you giving us characters that no one cares about? What is wrong with you? I don't want an Amanda Waller show. Who, other than Viola Davis, who was asking for a Amanda Waller show? Why is there an Amanda Waller show? What? Why? She's not important. She never had, well, she probably did have her own comic, but it was not popular because no one is thinking about Amanda Waller when you're watching the Suicide Squad. That's what you're there for. You're not there for Amanda Waller. You're there for the crazy villains. Why is she here? And to tell you the truth, Viola Davis does not look like Amanda Waller. Like, Amanda Waller is a big black woman. Like, this is a woman who could sit on you, fam. That's the type of woman she is so big and intimidating. Batman is intimidated by her presence when he's in the room by her. Don't get it twisted. He could fuck her up. Yeah, but even he's intimidated by her. I don't get that from Viola Davis. I just see another crazy feminist. That's what I see. Like, another virtue signaling actress, and it's like, you've just ruined your reputation for me. Like, I have nothing of, you have nothing of value other than how to get away with murder now. Like, yeah, because like, being a black man, could you imagine trying to promote a group of people who were slavers and tried to make them sympathetic? Like, that is mad. Like, that is just madness. Mazzoline. Mad thing. I don't rate that. So, there is that. We are getting an authority, or the authority. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to care about these people. Because, James, the only people that I care about was Superman, and I suppose the rest of the Justice League. I don't want Ezra Miller back. Somehow, for some reason, he's staying. Why? Why? I thought you said this was going to be a complete reboot. Why are you hiring Viola Davis as Amanda Waller? Why is there even an Amanda Waller show? Like, that is my issue. You're not listening. You're not. I know people are in their excitement. I know. I'm going to leave you and let you be in your excitement for your little 5 minutes of time being in your honeymoon phase. But it's like, I don't care. Yes, fun fact, I've actually got the Swamp Thing movie, like the old one, like I think it came out in the 80s or the 70s. Like, and it had that short guy in it who was jumping on a table. Like, yeah, you remember that one with the black kid with the big glasses in that? I've got that on video. Or not video, DVD, sorry. And I haven't watched that in years. I think I will go watch Swamp Thing because he said it's going to be different, more like a horror theme thing. So, like, yeah. That I would actually watch because that would be different. That could be a good creature feature horror movies. I love a good creature feature. Oh, but by the way, when it comes down to my catalogue, man, I love bear films. I love horror. I love kaiju films, action, cowboy, some, you know, there's those Asian shows where you got like the kung fu, and then you got like the romanticized kung. Yeah, man, I love enough genres. So if we could get a creature feature in DC, I'll be like, yo, that's a good thing. Like, you could make some good horror movies with certain DC characters. I would love a horror show or a film with Clayface. Or like a low budget Clayface horror movie. Like, yo, I would love that. I would personally love that. Like a Clayface horror. Come on, man. Like, that needs to happen. Let that happen, man. But I'm gonna be, so you already know how I feel about a lot of this. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like you should be putting the household names first. Then in the second phase, cool. Because there's no room for error here. And I don't think James Gunn understands that. But David Zaslav understands that. You cannot fail. Anything that fails is not going to continue. If you continue that, you're just going to put yourself in even more debt. David Zaslav, I know you're out there. I know you bought Warner Brothers with $50 billion worth of debt in there. I understand where you're coming from. But you need to make sure this guy, this James Gunn guy, you need to put him on a leash, big man. Put him on a leash. Because he's going to run off and deviate and do his own little thing when he's supposed to be pleasing the customer. This ain't the time to be doing your thing, James. This ain't about you. This ain't about your vision. This is about fixing DC, getting it back on track, and making it profitable. This ain't about you. You get that? And like, I know people that say, well, this ain't about me. Well, I'm a fan. Who is it? Who is this? Who is this supposed to be for? Is this supposed to be for like every minority except for DC fans? Like, is that what we're going for? Can we stop doing that? I'm in a minority. Britain don't like Jamaicans. They're literally deporting us for no bloody reason. Even though we legally got into this country, they're deporting us. They don't rate us here. Go look at them statistics. They don't like us. But I ain't gonna be out here using that as a bloody crutch. You get me? But like, fab, focus. What? Ask. Even though we did tell you and you still didn't bloody listen. Like, in it, we wanted Henry Cavill back, but you give us Ezra Miller. Like, I should slap this old man. Like, it's like, how are you out here letting this bloody creep, this weirdo, Ezra Miller, let him keep his job, but you fired the thing that your only asset that was keeping your money going, or maybe not the only thing that was keeping your audience going, and you fired that and you kept it. I'm gonna start swearing. Let me calm down. So, James Gunn, the point that I'm trying to make is, if you let him come back, if you let Ezra Miller come back, you have damaged DC's reputation so far. Your films, if your films flop, like, it's all your fault. Like, why did you hire him? Because the reason it's your fault is you're at the top of the business, bro. You're at the top of the company. Who else saying that? Who else between you and Peter Safran, was it? Yeah, between you two, both of you are going to get that heat, regardless of what happens, fam. You're going to get that heat. Do not let him come back as the Flash, you know. And you said you was going to reboot everything. Then why the hell is Viola Davis playing Amanda Waller again? Is John Cena still going to be playing as Peace Walker or Peacemaker or whatever? Yeah. To me, this seems like you're trying to sell me your universe, James Gunn. But the problem is, you're not a salesman. You're a director. That's the problem with you. Yeah, you know, Themyscira are going to be like Game of Thrones. Like, you know, Game of Thrones is not a DC brand. It's not a part of DC. Why are you trying to make something that's not Game of Thrones like Game of Thrones when Warner Brothers already owns Game of Thrones? Yo, boss, but you get the point. Like, why? Why are you trying to make all of these things something that it's not? Not all of them, but like some of the things like that. You know, it's like, no, bro. I wanted Henry Cavill back. Like, when I look at this Superman, I'm just naturally going to have that thought of dislike for him. Like, I feel sorry for the actor who's going to be playing Superman, because it's like, now you basically have to try and outperform the actor that basically looked like Superman. Like, like, people are going to be thinking about Henry Cavill, fam. You know, like, it's going to suck for him. Like, it's really going to be horrible, because people are just going to compare him to Henry Cavill, let alone the original actor. Sorry, what was his name? Christopher. Oh, I'm so bad. I am so bad. The original actor's name. You know, and he got into that terrible accident. Oh, I am so bad. How do I forget an actor like that? Oh my days. You guys can roast me for that one. Yeah, I'll hold the L. You guys can roast me for that. Yeah, so, you know, is this going to be compared to Henry Cavill, then him being, like, embraced? And it's like, yo, and then it's like, James Gunn, you have no idea how much of a lose-lose situation you've created for yourself. Like, you really have no idea. Some of these things, or maybe all of them, I could be absolutely wrong come 10 years from now. 10 years from now, DC could probably overtake Marvel when it comes down to money, quality, and rated. I could be absolutely wrong, and I will eat my words and say I was wrong. I want to be, but I don't think I'm going to be. No, I want to be wrong because I don't want any of the things that I've just spoken about in this video. Well, most of them. Like Swamp Thing, cool. Batman Part 2, cool. I'm calm with that because I know James ain't gonna fuck with that. That's an Elseworld story he's confirmed. Like with the Joker films, it's like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to stick with the Elseworld because James, like, you cannot be making DC into Guardians of the Galaxy 2.0. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like I know people like Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't. I'm not into the oversaturation of comedy. I know some people might say, then how the hell are you watching the MCU? Like, yeah, you know, majority of the MCU did have comedy, but it didn't go at the sacrifice of good writing. And remember back in the day, you know, Captain America 1, Captain America 2, both had good stories, were both serious tone, and also had some jokes in there. And those are some of the best films. Captain America Civil War, Avengers Endgame had way more jokes than Civil War or The Winter Soldier, but still very good. Even Endgame, even though Endgame wasn't perfect, I would say I would prefer Infinity War, but I still say they were both fantastic films nonetheless. But when it came down to Phase 4, that quality dipped like the no, it didn't dip. It dropped off the fucking charts into the bloody dirt. We've got like 666 what is it, 616 miles deep into the dirt. That's how far down you've got in the quality of writing Marvel. James Gunn, you can't be doing that. Please don't be adding that MCU formula, please. You guys know me, I'm a big Marvel fan, but I'm not a big MCU fan. There is a difference. Yes, there is a difference. There is the source material, and then there's the adaptations. How can you not tell the difference, people? But this video has gone on for way too long. Like, I've had to do this video multiple times in takes. I think I'm just going to stop here. To the viewer, what are your thoughts of the DC slate reveal? And how do you feel about them? Is there any films you're excited for? Do you think I was being too harsh? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like. If you didn't, drop a dislike. And also state why you didn't like it. Maybe I can improve in future videos. But anyway, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.